What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cowboys Cutting Up. I am Jay Stoggs, the buff nerd. Let's go. And of course, I'm joined by the man, the guy that is down there in Uvalde, in San Antonio area that's holding it down in the South, but letting us know how the Cowboys do. Trey, what's up, man?
Hey,
How you
man,
feeling?
Trey, I'm doing great. First
Yeah.
preseason game tomorrow, Hall
Yes,
of
sir.
Fame game. Next week, Cowboys' first preseason game, which
Yes.
Ezekiel Elliott's not going to be in, which he has never been a part of forever. He's a big
Yeah.
crybaby, whatever the case may be, whatever. I don't care. This is last year to be in Dallas. But anyway, we'll get into that. But, man, I'm excited. 2 days started in high school football especially back. We have
Yes.
Jerry Jones saying crazy things.
Right.
We have Kellen Moore thinking he's God's greatest gift to offensive coordinator in the world. So it's Cowboy season, man. We're here.
It's Cowboy season. There's always
is.
headlines. There's always headlines when it comes to the
Yes.
Cowboys. We make those headlines, man. And that's just the way it is. So, you know what? Let's just jump into it. But before we do, make sure, again, we are on ASAP on Big Game Entertainment, Big Game Sports Buzz. Make sure that you like, subscribe, smash the bell so you know when we are on and where we're in this. I'm telling you, it's fun. It's been such an enjoyable piece to come on here with Trey. We had to kick James out because he was talking too much Bucks stuff on a Cowboys podcast. So it's like, yo, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can come in and talk Cowboys. And if you don't like the Cowboys, that's fine, because we can tell you why your team sucks worse. But really not. But hey, again, let's go ahead. Like I said, let's jump into this thing. First things up, James Washington looks like he has a broken foot. Suffered on Monday. Is it time to go ahead and seriously look at getting ODB Jr. in here? Is it time?
Yeah.
I know he's coming off a knee injury as well.
Is this just an Well, here's the thing. How healthy is OBJ? Like, we're going through this with Michael Gallup right now as we speak. Michael Gallup right now, I don't know if you saw that, he still has a limp around camp, and he's probably not going to be back for the first half of which is fine because we just signed to that big contract. So I don't care how long he misses, whatever the case. Dak's going to have. That's the reason why we paid Dak Prescott that much money this year. Or it's because you got to have to carry the load, which he's going to have to do this year with CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
That's I would love OBJ because if you would ask me this question 2 years ago, I'd be like, hell no, don't bring OBJ. He's a drop, but he's proven. Okay, maybe he wasn't the problem in New York. Maybe he wasn't he went to LA and look, he shut his mouth and he was pretty much the MVP of that Super Bowl until he went down with that injury. Because but if he's healthy, if he's good, if he can start half of the season, I'd say bring him in.
You said bring him in?
I'd say bring him in. You have that veteran leadership. You have the Super Bowl. He can bring that Super Bowl pedigree to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
That's the thing about James Washington. I know James Washington, he only has a broken foot, but at the same time, he broke his foot this year. And so even coming back, he's not going to be fully healthy going in after 2 months after he comes back.
Right.
But as Jerry Jones says, well, no, we're going to give our young guys a shot. Okay, let's see how good that works when you start off 0-3, but okay.
Well, I mean, and just think about this. The only receiver that you have that has NFL experience at this point is who? CeeDee Lamb. Right? And so when you start looking at it from that standpoint and understanding that you still got Gallup coming off major knee surgery, you still got OBJ coming off of major knee surgery, so you may not get him until November anyway. So you have to sign him for more than a year, possibly 2 to 3. But that veteran leadership has to be in that locker room. I don't know, man. I don't know. I if he was healthy, I would say absolutely.
Well, here's a question: if he was healthy, he probably wouldn't be a free agent right now.
True. That's very true. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. He would be healthy. He would probably not be out there. He may even still be. Yeah, I was about to say he may even still be with the Rams, but they kind of saw that and was like, look, let's just part ways, and maybe it's just crowded out there in in Ramland as well. Wasn't getting the touches, or probably wasn't going to get the touches. Cup came back from his injury, and now looks like he is the man again. Right? They really like their running backs, and they're gonna do some different things out there. So they're gonna spread the ball around. He won't get it as much. Look for a payday. Why not? Why not? But there, I don't know. It intrigues me. It intrigues me. Samuel signed back with San Francisco, right? So
I knew that was happening.
Yeah. I mean, I still think he's not going to be happy playing, but he's going to be happy with the money. So, he'll.
I mean, who wouldn't be happy with that money? I mean, good God, the guy got paid. The receiver market is where it's at right now.
Yeah, and that's Tyreek Hill and all those guys who got paid this past offseason. Okay, it's set, but now you really got to look at who's not going to get paid. Your running backs aren't going to get paid, right? So that kind of leads into this next question, as we kind of leave OBJ, and we have to think of who is still out there that and Cole Beasley. Before you say it, no,
dude,
no,
dude.
no. We've done this.
And he was viable to our team.
Valuable to our team. He was. Will he be now?
For Josh Allen. He was for Josh Allen until political stuff started happening. I'm just saying. He knows the offense. He can get to the first downs. He can take a little pressure off CeeDee Lamb. I know he's older in the tooth, but
he's long in the tooth. I mean, I know we're looking at veterans, and he's a slot receiver, which means you push CeeDee Lamb to the outside, which means you would have to push Pollard possibly outside if you put him out there. But again, we're talking about Kellen Moore, who doesn't really have a flair for anything that is remotely exciting. He pretty much sticks to the same thing that we've seen over the years. So I don't know if he decides to be creative this year. I don't know, but
he was creative last year. I mean, there was a little of those lateral plays at the end of the games that were kind of like, okay, it didn't work one time on a Sunday night game, but there was some like, okay, that's cool. But you're right. I mean, there's no like trick. That's like we saw that little reverse pass back to the receiver. We saw. But we hardly ever see that from a Dallas Cowboy team, like the gadget plays, right? Like you don't see the double reverse. You don't see the tight end around. You don't see all these stuff that other teams do to keep the defense on their toes. That's the thing missing. But here's the thing about I'm not optimistic that he's going to change. He's going to be more aggressive in that way this year. The reason I'm saying that because Mike McCarthy's job is actually on the line the first 4 weeks of the season. And Mike McCarthy's going to be like, okay, well, we're not doing it. We're sticking to my game plan. We're going to do what we need to do.
I was going to ask you that.
My job is on the line.
Do you think Mike McCarthy is going to have way more, or not way, but do you think he's going to have more influence on the offense, and especially play calling this year?
I think after seeing where we are before we play Week 4 against the Rams, let's see where we are. If we have a losing record, yes, because Jerry doesn't have patience. Jerry's old. Jerry wants to win a Super Bowl. We all know this.
Yes.
But I don't see how he wants to win a Super Bowl with everything he's doing, but that's a time for another story. I don't want to get into that. But what I'm saying is when they get to the Rams game, that's going to be a tell mark like where we are in the season. Right. Are we below 500? Are we right at 500? Are we overachieving somehow? Which I can possibly see the Cowboys doing because Cowboys usually do this, right? Cowboys we play two up to our level and we play down to our level.
Yes.
We play it's a Cowboy team. So it just depends where we are. That Week 4 matchup against the Rams is going to be telling to see where we are because that first month of the season schedule is tough. And if they can just be patient, which I think Jerry Jones might be, there's a reason Dan Quinn's back.
Yes.
But that's another topic for a different day. But if they're 1-3 going in that Rams game, and that's a must-win game,
yeah,
and it's depending on what the Eagles are doing on the opposite side of the division, and it might seem Mike McCarthy real in. It's like, I'm calling the plays, my job's on the line. Sorry, Maura, you have all the time in the world. So I'm just. I can see that happening for sure.
And we talked backstage about the Eagles, and we were going through the schedule, and on paper, the Eagles look to be a really good team. And I even said this, yes, it was 2 years ago where we looked at, Jalen Hurts that could outrun our defense to the line, and then once he made it to the edge, right, he could turn it up. And I watched him do it. Especially that last game of the season, to get into the playoffs, we just couldn't catch him. This is a different defense. Obviously Michael Parsons, who realistically could have won Defensive Player of the Year, right? Let alone, rookie Defensive Player of the Year for sure, but definitely could have won Defensive Player of the Year if he had played more in one position than multiple. And that's no, shine off of was it TJ Watt that run it?
Yes.
Yeah. Which, we had a chance to get him, but we had to get Cheeto. Anyway, that's another conversation. Yeah, that's another conversation. That to this day that still breaks my heart. But when you look at that, and here's the other question that comes up. Do we know the identity of the Dallas Cowboys as they sit today?
Yeah. For the last 27 years, I couldn't tell you the identity of the Dallas Cowboys.
Isn't that like that's sad? Go ahead.
When you have players coming into camp and say, "Oh, we're going to use camp to find our identity." I'm sorry. You had the same head coach for 3 years. You should know who your identity is. You should know. We all know what your identity should be. We all see the stats and the records behind that, what your identity should be. If Dak Prescott throws the ball over a certain many times, our record's below 500, this and that. If we run the ball a certain many times, we've pretty much dominated the game and we win all those games. Let's just be
there
straight. That's now our offensive linemen are banged up. They paid Dak Prescott all that money. They want him to prove that he's worth all that whatever multi-billion-dollar contract that he signed that Jerry messed. Jerry, I always want to interview you, but if you're listening to the show, please turn it off because I don't want you to get mad at me. I really like you, but at the same time, dude, you should have signed Dak Prescott earlier than. I mean, I love Dak Prescott too, but he's not a $45 million a year quarterback.
I think we all can agree. I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, I did, and we've heard it all. We want to run the football. Mike McCarthy, we want to run the football. Yeah. Well, if you look back, Mike McCarthy's not a running football kind of coach. Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Brett Favre, he had all these quarterbacks who throw the ball. Can Mike McCarthy change that? I mean, you have a two-headed monster in Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, which we all know that Tony Pollard's probably the better running back out of both of them, but we're paying Zeke all that money.
That's debatable. I think that's debatable. And I'm going to come back to that, but I just, in the comments, make sure. Yeah. Hit us up. What kind of identity do you think the Cowboys have? But go ahead.
It's just funny to me, like in the middle of the year, you watch NFL Live, you watch ESPN. What's a Cowboy's identity? Hell, no one knows. Like we all know what it should be. Yeah. But no one knows. And everyone, the Baltimore Ravens, what's their identity? Running the football. If you ask the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what's theirs? Pretty much Tom Brady and throwing the football, whatever the case may be. We don't have a Tom Brady. We don't have an Aaron Rodgers. We don't have Patrick Mahomes. We don't have we actually need a team, and we all know, and we need to get we need to stop this Jason Garrett 50-50. Run the ball 50 times, like we want to guess what the defenses are. We want to know what the defense are guessing what we're going to do. It's 3rd-8. We all know we're throwing the damn football. You know what I mean? We all know what the identity should be. We should be 60-40 run pass. That's what it should be. But how we stick to it, don't know because that offensive line's another year older. It's kind of question mark. That used to be our identity of the team back when the 2014, 2016 seasons. That's how we got. We went deep in the playoffs, a Cowboy deep in the divisional round, but
yeah,
that's our identity.
one.
But
Yeah,
we won one game. But yeah, if, in our comment section, I think everyone's going to agree with me that this should be a running football team with that two-headed monster. Because the Desert agrees. The Desert believes that both the Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, two-headed monster, they're going to average over. They're going to get over 2,000 yards together.
Yes.
So
I think that's easily. Yeah, I think that can easily be done. Like I said, we talk about Elliott, we talk about Pollard. As far as the running backs and knowing that what they do, but you also have like Malik Davis and Rico Dowdle, and I know Dowdle. They're really high on this kid, or this guy. I can't really say kid, but he's a third-year player. But they really like what he's giving. So it's going to be just interesting to see how they put him in. He's a bigger back, than Pollard. Just by a couple of pounds, but I mean, definitely. And the reason why I say, when you compare Pollard and Zeke, to me, they're really two different types of backs.
They are.
When you have Pollard is a better catcher, not only out of the backfield, but also in space. But Zeke is a better blocker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zeke can run in between the tackles, and Pollard can run a little bit in between it, but he's a lot better on the edges. And so I think when you start looking at things like that, a pro set, offset, again, incorporating them into the offense like a Debo Samuel, where you can put him in a slot, put him in motion, or have him on the outside, put him in motion, where now you can run reverses, bubble screens, misdirections off. I mean, there's so many things you can do there with Pollard and Zeke on the same field, especially with the receiver situation. Why not do it? But I think they're so traditional in their thought process that it's either Zeke or Pollard, and that's it.
That's gonna be it's out for next year. That's it, because these contracts up, and Tony Pollard's gonna look for a big payday. So,
and he'll get it, and Zeke will be gone.
Will he? Because Jerry Jones is very loyal to the people he likes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he said that about T.O. And T.O. was gone. T.O. was gone. T.O.'s my guy. He's my guy. Yeah, he was gone. So, I just kind of look at it as, we'll see. Johns and Bohanan, they've been kind of coming up as far as who's going to take that other side and help Tank, especially D-line, D-N. If you have Micah that's going to, come down, play that D-N spot sometimes or in situations. So have you heard anything or just on that defensive side, of the line, how, or is it just, we just got to wait and see? I feel like that's where we are. It's a lot of wait and see, a lot of prayer.
I think we'll have more answers after week one. I mean, not week one, preseason. Probably after the second preseason game. There's only 3 this year. I think you're going to have to move Michael, and that's the thing about Michael Parsons. You can move him around. Like, you can put him on the opposite side of Tank Lawrence. Mm-hmm. You can put him you can move those other guys inside, and where they have the mismatches and stuff like that. Dude, honestly, it's a wait and see game. I'm not hearing much great things right now. I'm just hearing a lot about Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and Malik Hooker. I'm hearing great things about them. Nothing really about the defensive line, which is hard to say because it's only the 3rd day in pads, and Cowboys had a light practice today for whatever purpose. I don't know. They had like 4 months off already or anything, but they already need a light practice.
They need
which I understand. They need it. Right. They need that little kumbaya moments or whatever.
Yeah.
I think times have changed since my day. I don't know. We went full pads 3 times a day. I don't know. I was in high school, but I just believe we got soft. But I mean, you're paying these guys multi-million dollars. So I I understand you want to invest or whatever.
You want to, you definitely want to keep them, good and restful and all of that, and you don't want to go past the, the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA and things like that. So it definitely has changed a lot of how the way they practice. But I think when we start looking at this part, and they have, gosh, who is this? 2, 4, 6. There's 7 safeties right now on the 90-man roster. And so out of the 7 safeties, and I know you'll have, your free safety and your strong safety, but I'm really just like Jaron Curse. Is he going to take a step forward? Is he going to be better this season? Is he going to stay where he is? This is 8th year.
Well, he is a oh my God, line's blanking to me. Dan Quinn guy.
He's a Dan Quinn guy.
Dan Quinn won in the bag. Dan Quinn knows how to use them. Dan Quinn. I think that you're going to see an improvement, and you're going to see that leadership in that department for him this year. I think that's going to help the Dallas Cowboys out. Thinking health's going to be another issue with him. Health, he has to stay healthy. That's the thing, right? That's why the big signing today kind of helped out a little bit as well with the defensive end, with all the defensive depth, because you can never whatever. We'll get into that a little bit later. But me personally, I think you're going to see an improvement from Curse. I think you're going to, if he stays healthy, I think that's going to be another year in the Cowboy system. I think it's going to help Curse out with Dan Quinn running that lines as well.
Because I was looking at him, and then also, we talk about Jones and
how having a good camp.
He's having a really good camp. He's having a really.
How many times are we? Oh, he's having a great camp, and then the season comes.
True, very true. You go undefeated in camp and have a trash regular season, and you go undefeated, or you lose every game in camp, and you still have a trash season. No, but I mean, but all indications right now is that he's having a really good camp. Again, we'll see in preseason. We'll see how he does, but especially I think moving into those first couple of games, he's going to go up against some really good receivers. Diggs was on. Has talked about. He was given the question of, would you rather have your whole side shut down because of the way you play, or would you want a QB test you and possibly have the interceptions, but you're going to have yards, and say, hey, what are yards? Yards don't get you scores. Yards don't get you scores, but interceptions, flips the field, and that gives the ball back to your offense. That gives you a better chance. So, I mean, just the mindset that he has of, hey, I just want to take the ball away, is good, but it also means your safety in your other corner.
But I actually like Trayvon Diggs' mindset on that. Like, you're going to give up yards in today's league. It ain't like the Deion Sanders where you can push them for 5. Like, you can hold on to them ball. Like, you're going to give up yards no matter how you play defense. I would rather have, like, risk reward mentality, right? Like, that's how he got those 11 interceptions last year, or 12 interceptions last year.
Yeah.
Because he was a risk taker. And you're going to give up some yards, but you know what? You're going to give up yards no matter what anyway. Why not try and go for them if you think you can make a play on it? Who is an ex-wide receiver until he went to Alabama, mind you.
Right.
So he can catch. He's not like one of these defensive backs, so that's why they play defense,
Hands of stone.
He can actually catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I mean, you're going to have to have help on the safety side, but at the same time, you're going to give up yards, but at the same time, wouldn't you rather have an interception or give up a couple? I mean, you're going to give up yards in today's NFL. You are going to give up yards.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that mindset. And I hate that mentality. Like, I'm with them. I don't want half the field taken away. Like, the game gets boring. Like, Astro Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Yeah.
He hates it. He hates it because then you get Lackadaisical, and then you try to make even more chances when the ball does cut, and then your game beat even more. And then your numbers go down. So therefore, I like his mindset on that.
Yeah. I'm definitely kind of with him. I do like ball hawks. I like to have at least one guy on my defense in the backfield back there that's looking to take the ball away, because that ensures at least that series that they're not going to score. So I do like that.
But I will say this. you got to pick and choose when you want to be aggressive with that.
True.
Like you can't do it like when you're up 3 and they're driving down and you want to like, you know what I'm
right.
Like the New England game last year when he got that pick 6 and he tried to do it again and then he got beat for a touchdown right after that. Yep. So you got to pick and choose like when do you want to do it. Like early in the game, I don't mind it, but when the fourth quarter and you're up 3 and they're driving down that 2-minute drill, dude, no, like that's when the yards like okay, yards need to stay at the premium. But
yeah, for sure. And I'm looking for Anthony Brown to really kind of to see what he does as well as Jordan Lewis. I thought he did well, but I just have a feeling like there's another step for him.
He's young
to get to. Yeah, and like I said, he's young. He's young enough. 26. He's going into his 7th year, but I think he's still young enough where he can make Jordan Lewis is who I'm talking about. He can definitely take that next step. With Kyron Brown, we'll see. Again, 3rd-year player.
How about Corey Joseph?
Well,
he's not going to jail.
He's not going to jail. And hopefully this is a wake-up call for him that, and this is something that Big Game and we've talked about on the show, Big Game Sports Buzz on Thursdays, 8 p.m. But we've talked about, and even on Sports Chop Shop, but, when you get to that level and understanding that there's just some people that, you don't want to cut them off, but you're going to have to not, you have to move away from them, and just say, look, I've got this going on right now. And so what you got going on? Yeah.
Sorry, my Siri came on.
That's okay.
I was going to say, if he hasn't yet, he needs to watch The Captain on ESPN Plus because Derek Jeter talks about that mindset, like cutting who you need to cut. Really know who your friends are. You need to cut who.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be somebody. I know it's hard to do. It is hard to do because that's who you do. But it's something you got to surround yourself with the right people.
Sure.
He's going to. I think he learned. I think hopefully he is a Dallas Cowboy. I don't know if he's going to learn that or not because.
We have a.
Maybe hang around. Maybe hang around Dak Prescott a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a. Except for that DWI charge he got in college. I mean.
But I mean, maybe they need to move his locker next to Dak's,
exactly.
so he and CD can I don't know, but look. Let me clarify this because I know a lot of times it seems like I rag on the Cowboys a little bit to be a Cowboys fan, but it's just the simple fact that I've been a Cowboys fan for such a long time. I've seen what it looks like when it was bad at 1-15. I've seen what it looks like when it's awesome when you win back-to-back Super Bowls. When you're a team of of a decade, a dynasty, a real dynasty, and then to be in mediocrity for so long. But always saying, "This is our year. This is our year." I know what it's like, and it's very tough, but I think Joseph definitely can be that other guy on the other side. He's 6'1", 192, so he's a big body as far as a cornerback is concerned. He's got everything physically there, and I think mentally as well on the field. But he has to be on the field and ready to go. Because if you got Diggs on the other side that's ball hawking, and you got Joseph, and then you have your safeties in the back there, where now it's like, hey, I can just do what I need to do, and you can shut it down. You can cause all kind of trouble back there. And that defensive line, that front seven, if they bring the pressure, that makes the job so much easier for them back there.
Right.
It makes it so much easier for them. So, for me, it's seeing the front seven. Who's going to be on the other side of Tank? If it's Micah, then maybe that is why you bring in Barr. Why you bring in Anthony Barr, which is kind of that next part of, okay, so I asked the question, what's going on in that linebacker room where you're signing Anthony Barr from the Vikings, or former Viking Anthony Barr, to bring him in there? You got Cox, you got Neal. Yes, they're coming off of injury. You have the new Sean Lee, Van Der Esch. It's what it is. Let's just call it what it is, okay? Like the player. I think he's a great guy from what I've heard, but you got to be on the field there, bro. And then you have Michael Parsons, who is the everyman, right? He's the every defensive person. But you sign Anthony Barr. What's going on there? What are your thoughts there?
Great. If he stays healthy, man, it's a great signing for the Dallas Cowboys defense. Then you can put Anthony Barr. He can play multiple positions. Mm-hmm. Not as good as Parsons, but he can do he can move. Let Parsons be a roamer like he was last year. Like right. You don't know where he's going to be at all times. Right. If Barr can stay healthy, that's the big key. But he's with his ex defensive coach in Minnesota that came to Dallas. He's with him again, so that's going to reunite him, and he knows his scheme and knows what he likes. So I think it's a great, like you said, you're going to also get that depth for you as well. Because like you said, we have Van Der Esch, who's the new Sean Lee, which I love Sean Lee. If he would have stayed healthy, probably all great, whatever. Hall of Fame, no doubt about it. Van Der Esch can't stay. First year, he looked like he can stay healthy. You're like, all right, here we go. And then now he's getting hurt a lot. So he gets hurt. You got Jabari Cox, who's coming off injury. You have, and then – like you said, you always just risk of Parsons getting hurt for almost playing at the defensive end level, playing linebacker, hell, even playing cornerback sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, that signing is going to help the Dallas Cowboys with their depth and what Dan Quinn wants to accomplish here at the Big D in Dallas. But going back to your previous question about who's going to a couple of questions ago. Yeah. Man, they're liking what the rookies bring in on the other side of Tank Lawrence, man. They're loving I forgot his freaking name already. That's how good. Our second round pick, our first round pick, or second round pick. Third round pick.
Sam Williams. Yeah.
All indications are he's fast off the snap. He's fast, but he's got to learn the techniques. He's got to do all this. But I think Dan Quinn's going to help him. So I think add him, and then you have Dante Fowler as well on the other side. I think that will help the defensive line. I think the defensive line is going to be all right, especially with Parsons and Barr in the back end, Van Der Esch. If he stays healthy, I think it's going to be good. But going back to Barr, I think it's a great signing, man. I mean, why not ensure the depth of – because we've proven that defense needs the depth in today's NFL because the no-huddle offenses, the fast pace, you're going to need that for like the Aaron Rodgers, St. Louis Rams, or Los Angeles Rams, and so great hire. I mean, great signing and everything by them. So I have no issues with it.
Yeah,
it's only for a 1 year deal. I mean, like we break the.
It is.
Which even though the Dallas Cowboys have money that they're not spending because I don't know what's going on. Jerry Jones always spends money, and this year when we actually need to spend the money, we're going to get the young guys a shot. Okay.
And that's what I don't understand is so you're sitting at I think it's like $24 million under the cap that they have basically for the year, and it seems to me as though they're waiting to get Zeke off the books for the next year to sign whoever big name they're going to go after.
But have they given you confidence in the past? I mean, we've had money before the signings. We don't do it. Like we could have got freaking Von Miller this year. But the Bills somehow found money. Why can't we? I mean, we have money sitting on the books. We could have paid him, and that would have helped your defense. Yes. I just don't we actually have money. So what makes you what makes you think there's confidently that they're actually going to spend money next year instead of this year? And I think it's going to be another losing record where Jerry Jones oh crap, we suck again. You know what I mean? Right. Is it going to take that, or what gives you confidence that he's actually going to go do this? Because he does the opposite of what we think we're going to do.
Right, and I'm trying to figure out who is it that they're looking to sign for next year? Who's going to be that big free agent that's coming off next year that we're looking for? Is it in the backfield? It can't be in the backfield because we don't pay running. Well, we pay running backs, but the league doesn't. So we're going to have to pay Pollard, and maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
maybe
but
it's
you're not going to pay Pollard Zeke money because look, Jerry Jones probably will, but because you know what Jerry Jones is going to do. But Zeke, if you look at the running back, Zeke was the last one to have that big major. No other running back is making that kind of money after Todd Gurley and Zeke contract. Now it's all shifting to the wide receivers this year.
Right.
So, but there's no this is like if you think you have a Super Bowl winning team, you think you had all the pieces last year, and you're just a few plays away here and there. Yeah. You're not showing much confidence in me that you want to win a Super Bowl if you're not spending $24 million.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those parts when you're looking at it from the standpoint of DK Metcalf signed back, Debo signed back. So, you know, I don't even understand why they would do it. What's up, John? John Suggs. Hey, welcome to the podcast, my guy. Money or not, you look at all those stats Dak had, Zeke had, wide receivers had, still couldn't pass the sniff test. Jerry Jones is gone and get a defense. I don't know, man. Here's what I'm gonna say about that. I believe this. I do believe this. Jerry Jones has signed a deal with the devil. Okay.
Yeah, I hope to God you're right.
I believe he has. That's why he is still alive looking the way he does. He has signed a deal with the devil that, you know, he has to suffer for a certain amount of time. But then once he wins a Super Bowl, like either when he lifts it up or the day after, and I'm not wishing this on him. I'm not. But his soul will belong to the devil. That's my belief. If I'm wrong, that's fine, you know, and I'll take that. But that's how it feels. I'll say it like that. That's how it feels, man. They got the money, but they don't want to spend it. I just think it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be for. I don't know.
Are they waiting? Are they waiting for like when the teams make cuts when they got to cut down to the 54-man roster? Are they waiting to see what's going to be out there, then go out and sign somebody? At that point, you're already too deep because then they're already late because training camp's already over with, and they don't know the playbook. It's going to take a long time or a little bit longer to get them in the playbook and stuff. So I don't know what he knows. He's not telling us anything. He was happy today at media days, walking around doing like laughing and joking about how he didn't tell his wife he bought a boat and all this, which I still don't understand how his wife didn't know he bought a $150 million freaking boat. Or
you know
ship.
why? You know how? You know how?
I do, but I couldn't even buy a pair of shoes without telling my wife.
Well, you know, it's called
like, how do you buy a $150 million yacht bigger than a freaking football field?
I mean, that's what it is. You know, when you got separate accounts, number one, let's start there. When you don't maybe not stay in the same house or stay in the same place, that might be it. So I don't know, but hey, it's not like he can't afford it. You know, like I said, John, we're gonna see with Barr. I was kind of like I didn't get it, but you know, Trey definitely made some good points as far as it gives you depth, right? Not bad if he can stay healthy. He understands the defense, or at least the coach that's here. So you've convinced me to, you know, look on the brighter side of this and not question the linebacker room.
If you want to go real depth into this, like I do, because I can't sleep at night, so I start thinking Cowboy logic. Tell me go to sleep because it's very depressing. Is this another sign that this is actually Dan Quinn's team? Because we're not going out and signing receivers. We're not going out and signing offense. Like we're getting more defensive players.
Right.
Is this a sign that Jerry's listening more to Dan Quinn than he is Mike McCarthy? I don't know.
I mean, the Trey, when you look at the draft and you start seeing the positions, so other than what? Let's see. You got Tyler Smith. That was first round, right? Very next one was Sam Williams, defensive end. You got Tolbert, who is there's a lot of good things being said about him at wide receiver. And you got Jake Ferguson at tight end. And then after that, you know, Matt Wolotsky, good on you, brother. Great, you know, offensive lineman name at tackle. But after that, it's defense. You got a cornerback, 2 linebackers, a defensive tackle. Yeah, I'm when you're spending draft capital on defense, especially 2 linebackers, and we sign another linebacker, and we got Jabril Cox back and Neal and like, yeah.
I can confidently say that I'm not, first time in my lifetime, I'm not worried about the defensive side of the ball.
Not worried about the defense.
For first time in my life, I am not worried about the defense. And
I'm gonna say first time. Yeah, because
a long time since the '90s.
Since the '90s, yeah.
Since the Big D in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, since the Ken Norton days in the prime days and the Woodson, since the Woodson days.
Yeah.
I'm confident. I'm happy to see that. I would rather see the defense on the field because at least I know what I'll get from them. But when it comes to the offense, you just don't know. What are you saying, Jen? It's not like your defense didn't need it. They were very vulnerable. I don't think they were that vulnerable last year. And this is very much a Tampa Bay opinion. This is definitely a Bucs.
Why are we reading his comments?
Well, because we want to make sure that we read people's comments because we're Texas. We are welcoming to a point.
If you're nicer than I am, I want to be reading it. I'm just kidding, James. Love you.
But I don't think they were vulnerable. I don't think they were vulnerable at all. And see, this is
love you, James. Love you.
We all know who's the hater. I told you I'm gonna get you a shirt there, James. Hater extreme. But I don't think the defense was. I don't think they were. I think they were. And even in the press conference, even in the presser today, Quinn was talking about when you're, when you're starting to look at what's what and who's the best, team. You start scheming and you start looking at them. And Dallas's defense is one of those teams that was there. MJ, bro, stay with us, man. I know it's not that late out there on the West Coast. I know that. I know you're Oakland. Oh, no, I'm sorry, a Vegas fan, but that's okay. Good night, good sir.
I think he's saying he can't.
I can't. Good night.
He can't worry like the defensive side of the ball, right? Like he's still worried. Like, dude, the Dallas Cowboys 2 years ago were 31st in the league in total defense. They went all the way down to like less than middle of the pack. I mean, and that big of a jump in 1 year of Dan Quinn. Now he gets a full no COVID year. He has full training camp. He has everything in 1 year, and now the players know his system a little bit better. Yeah. I'm not worried about the defensive side of the ball. The defense actually kept us in a lot of these against this Kansas City Chiefs. Our offense are the ones that let us down in all these losses. Let's just be straight. Yeah. Well, except for the Denver Bronco game. That's another.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Defense has allowed one bad game. But
right.
Look at the Kansas City Chiefs game last year. We were in that game. We only get 9 points. We didn't score a freaking touchdown in that stinking game. You look at the wild card game against San Francisco.
Thank you, John. Yes, 9th in total defense. That's yards allowed per game, but 7th in average points. And let me tell you something. It's just like we were talking about earlier with Trayvon Diggs, who said, look, yards are yards, but you don't score points off yards, okay? You don't score points off yards. That's all I care about. At this point, you can, and Trey said it, you're going to get yards because that's what this is a passer league. This is a passing league. It is no longer 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's just not that any longer, right? What it is a passer league. You're going to get yards, So that's fine. You get your yards, but when you can't put it in to the end zone, that's when your defense really shows up. Right? That's when they show up.
Well, let me ask you this. Dallas Cowboys put up a lot of yards this year, too. And look what that got them. I mean,
hello? Yeah. Hello. So if you can't put it in the touchdown, if you can't put it in the end zone, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Well, and this year, for God's sake, we got to put it in the end zone because our field goal kicking sucks at camp. They went 1-6 yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, I'm like, can we please bring Greg Zuerlein back?
Man, look, I don't care. Just anybody. Like, they need to have, when they get back from Cali this week, just go ahead and have an open session. I'll go out there. I think I can probably hit about a 25-yarder.
I would pay money to see it.
Would you pay money to see that?
I would pay money. I'll pay big money to see it. Hey, Jerry, let's get Jerry on the phone right now.
I think I could kick a 20. I can kick a 25-year-old soccer style.
Wait a minute, wait, dude, you're thinking the same logic that I'm thinking of when I went to the trampoline park on Saturday. When you're seeing 18-year-olds do these flips, like your mind's like, I'm so young, I can do that, and then you go out like, oh crap, I pulled a hammy.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but see, notice I said I can kick a like one, so.
Not.
It can't be any word. Thanks. I know that said appreciate you being here, Big Game Sports was, but I know that it's they've got that kicking situation has been a bane in our side for a very long time, and it just seems to never get right. It just nope, just water. Actually, no, I did have a little sniffer of TX.
just a little
sniffer of TX this early on the rock. Yes, it was a day. It was a day.
But isn't that funny how long field goal kicking was like automatic? Like we get past the 50-yard line. Oh, Bailey's gonna make it. The best kicker in the league. Like, now it's like, oh my god, like we can't make extra points.
Greg the leg. Yeah, man.
Which I'm probably in the minority in all this. I would have gave Greg the leg another year because he was coming off an injury. He was doing I would have given him another year. I would have just at least it can be they're probably better than what we saw yesterday. Good God.
Yeah, no, it was god awful. Yes, you can kick it. I challenge you, Big Game James, to a kicking contest.
Is this like the ALS challenge? I changed it.
Yes, I challenge you. You know what? This is a great question. And actually, this is kind of one of the ones that we're going to end the show on with, because I got to ask this question first before I get there, John. But yeah, where the rankings in the division right now, that we'll talk about that here in about 3 or 4 minutes. But before we do that, here's a good question. So, and let me get to this. How do you feel knowing that the Cowboys, according to Forbes, are the most valuable franchise at $7.64 billion, but they can't get to an NFC Championship game? I posed this to you backstage, and like we went through the list. We're like, oh, this has got to be America. This has got to be NFL. This has got to be American sports. No, this is worldwide.
When I saw this list earlier on ESPN, I kind of glanced over. I thought it was just like American sports, because I think like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and all them would probably have been higher because they pay the soccer, the football players over there a lot of money, and I think they just to talk to someone else on like a free agent, they had to pay the club like hundreds of millions of dollars just to talk to him. So that was kind of shocking to me in a little bit, but I'm a little bit not surprised because Jerry is a good moneymaker, if you would say.
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys they're not good at winning playoff games, but they are good at promoting their product. They are very good at, who the Dallas Cowboys are. They do a very good, the production team over there in Dallas does a great job of highlighting these players and showing them off. And Jerry Jones is very good at that. But what Jerry Jones is not good at is trusting a general manager to run this damn team. He thinks he can do it, which we're being we talked about this forever.
Sure.
But the Dallas Cowboys, he knows how to make money.
Yes,
he's done it. He bought the team, I think, for like pennies on the dollar right now.
Yeah, like $150 million at that point. Yeah, it was cheap comparatively speaking. Yeah, I mean, to today, yes.
But Dallas does a good job. A local team here in San Antonio needs to, kind of take note of it because San Antonio Spurs are horrible at this, just to mind you.
Yeah.
But that's neither here or there. But they do the production team, who the Dallas Cowboys are. You know who the third string linebacker is on the Dallas Cowboys because they're out there on social media. They put them out there. They're not afraid of answering. They put them out in front of the media.
That's a great point.
They go ahead. But it kind of shocked me a little bit. I thought the Yankees would probably be there just because
I'm gonna put this back up here.
The Yankees are more of a baseball's more of a world game, right? Like you see, Like they play in the Dominican Republic, they played in
Sure.
Cuba, they played in
Japan,
Europe,
China.
Japan,
Yeah.
exactly. Where
Yeah.
football, even though we're going to Europe a little bit more, it's still not there. Like it was not around, but NFL's getting there. But that just shows you the mindset of Jerry Jones and how valuable he is to making money.
Yeah.
So what do you want to about the man? He knows how to throw a hell of a party. He knows how to have a good time. But come on football games, maybe we're saying something different at the end of the year. Maybe we all
hopefully, and I mean, and to John's point,
if this happens, you don't want to see me for a week. I'm just letting you know. Probably for a whole
No, you want to see me, but you won't. But you want to see me. No, I mean, to John's point, he talks about MLB, Yankees, the most money when it comes to that franchise. But when was the last time they won it all? But they're still in the conversation.
Cowboys.
Yeah, well, they did. They did.
The Yankees also made it to an American League Championship.
Yeah, I was about to say they did make
one game away from the series. Astros, but whatever.
Yeah, and the ACLs, they were there, like they're there, even though they do have the highest payroll in baseball. But it still goes to the point of, you can, and they don't have a cap, and so let's it's a soft cap. Let's just be real here. It's cap-ish. But still, when you are a valuable franchise such as this at $7.64 billion, you're buying yachts without without your spouse knowing, what I'm saying? You're just out partying, which is cool. Live your best life. I love it. Buy all the yachts you want. Don't tell nobody. Just, whatever. But my thing is that when we start talking about the actual franchise itself, there has to be something there to say, look, we've got to figure out how we can just get this better and just let that ego go. But like I said, he made a deal with the devil, and I don't think he's ready to go yet. And so when he's ready, championship. It's championship time.
Well, I'm going to give I still think it's a curse of the unborn child, the newborn child that he has. That's my thing. That's when everything started going downhill for the Cowboys.
That's true. That's very true. So now that
Bambino curse, I'm just saying.
Now that that's out, you think we got a better chance here? All right. So I'm gonna go back to this question. So rankings in the division. Here's the thing. I have to say, I feel like I'm contractually to say Dallas will win, but I don't believe that. I don't. And I said this last year, and hopefully this is a trend where, as far as Dallas is concerned, I think on paper, karma, yeah, for sure. But on paper, I do believe the Eagles are a little bit better, just a little, just a slight edge. And when it comes to schedules, right, it's the Eagles, the Cowboys, the commies, and the Gigantes. That's where I think it kind of falls. I definitely think the Cowboys can win it, but there's a lot of questions that have to be answered on the offensive side, particularly when it comes to the receiving core. If that's answered within the first six to 7 games, yeah, absolutely. What you thinking, man?
Okay, so Dallas actually has the first place schedule this year. Well, they benefited last year of a last place schedule because they finished at last the year before. So the scheduling, Eagles have the easier schedule by far.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and everything's going against the Dallas Cowboys this year. There's not been a repeat championship in the NFC East since 2005, I believe. Yeah. Since the Eagles last did it.
Yeah.
They did require A.J. Brown. He can't stay healthy.
Yep.
He cannot stay. He has injury issues. I do not trust Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. And you're talking about Dallas defense figured out Jalen Hurts last year. We dominated Jalen Hurts. We did. We in that one game. I'm not counting that last game because Jalen Hurts didn't play. And that was, I don't even know why our stars were even playing, but whatever the case may be. But I think now with the new, the Eagles, we have tape on them and what their identity is now. And I trust Dan Quinn a little bit more I mean, yeah, their offensive line is great. Their defensive tackle, their front two defensive linemen are 750 pounds. So good luck trying to run the ball in the middle between that. That's where I think Tony Pollard and all them people on the outside, it's going to help a little bit. Can Jalen Hurts stay healthy for a full 17 years? And you're really going to trust not Bendinucci, whatever his freaking name, Uncle Rico, whatever his freaking name is. I don't know.
Danucci?
Jacksonville Jack, whatever his freaking name is. I don't even care. But that being said, if Dak stays healthy all year, that defense is doing what I expect it to do this year, and it gives time for the receivers to catch up, the receivers to catch up and get Gallup in and get Washington back, and CeeDee Lamb's having a great year. Man.
Yeah, Cowboys up.
Man, but like you said, on paper, the Eagles do look like they're a better team.
Yes.
But at the same time, if all healthy, I still like the Dallas, because the Dallas Cowboys have owned the division, like the division games. For some reason, they play well in the division if all healthy. But if you had put a gun to my head right now and told me to pick, I hate saying this because, man, I would probably pick the Eagles by one game, just the way that what's been going.
Yeah.
But I still like the Dallas Cowboys' chances of winning the division. And for the love of God, this is not the NFC least anymore. I mean, we had two playoff teams in last year. We that's more than the South got. That's more than the North got. We were right. Like, it's only us in the West who got more than two or more teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So let's just be straight up honest with ourselves. I mean, if anyone could argue, the Packers have the easiest freaking schedule in the world because they play against the North, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're playing against backup quarterbacks for all intents and purposes.
Well,
so the NFC East is actually starting to come back to dome. If the Giants can just catch up, and the Eagles and the Commanders, or whatever the freaking name is now, I don't even care.
Yeah,
if they can figure out the quarterback situation.
Yeah,
the Commanders have a pretty good defense, but they're trying to make themselves up a little bit more. But I still think it's the Eagles and Cowboys division, and I think that if you held a gun to my head and if my life's on the line, I'd say the Eagles win by one game. But I would not be shocked if Dallas Cowboys do somehow run away with this at the end, because they do this to us all a lot. Like, we're down on them. They think we're down a bad year, and they gave us, we're going to win the Super Bowl because we're so that great. But Eagle on paper, the only thing I give Cowboys over the edge on is the passing game, and that's even a question mark because of the wide receiver question. But
good question.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, kind of. Look, this is a good question. You like watching the should say more nervous Dallas against Eagles or Dallas against Washington? That's a good question. That's tough. Which am I more nervous to watch
this year?
Yeah, this year.
Eagles.
Ooh. Yeah, I would say Eagles slightly, but look. For some reason, I believe in the Commies' defense. Like, it's scary to me on paper.
They
can't score, but they can hit. And if they hit our players hard, so that's like, I need more protection for Dak. I need his protection to be there. Steele has, he's in his third season now, and they're saying, he's solid, great. They're talking about Steele. Tyron Smith, is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be? How many games is he going to play? How long will he play in those games? Tyler Smith, is he going to be able to, get over the penalties from college? And translate over. He's playing in another position that he really hasn't played before. So yeah, man, it's going to be. I'm just saying, man. Really hit your players hard. When our players get hit hard.
No, because Mike McCarthy promised us we're going to be a more physical team. We're going to be a more disciplined team. And
then this sounds, it's like
it's Groundhog Day all over again. We hear this all the time.
Dude, it's like the Matrix, like part 3. When the guy's like, wait. I remember this. I've seen this before. You were there, and I was here, and I said something like, we're going to be more disciplined. And then he dies. Like, dude, that's where we are. It's just another season that you hope and you pray, Cowboys up, let's get it, let's go. But there it is. Hey, there's so much more. Training camp still going on, but of course we have the Hall of Fame game that's coming up. So that's going to really answer a lot of good questions. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm Jay Stoggs. Trey, what you got going, man?
Oh man, 2 days going on in high school football right now. We got coaches going on. We had a 7-time six-man champion, Tim Shipman, in yesterday. Great insight of what's going on in high school sports. So Hill Country Nation, all about high school players. Hey, hell, maybe one day we'll see them in the Dallas Cowboys lifting up the Lombardi Trophy here in the next 20 years. I don't know.
There you go. Make sure you check them out. Hill Country. Was it Hill Country Sports?
Hill Country Nation.
Hill Country Nation. Thank you, sir. Make sure you check them out. Hill Country Nation. Definitely some good stuff there. Like I said, make sure you like, subscribe, smash that bell. Tell somebody, right? Cowboys, we love to talk about Cowboys, so let's all talk about Cowboys. You got something, Trey?
I was going to say, we're the real fans. We're the ones Stephen A. Smith kind of likes. We're realists here. We're not the ones that we're going to win the Super Bowl every freaking year. Let's just be real.
No, I play the song. The boys are back in the bowl. Boys to the bowl. I play it from '93, but yeah, that's about it. Hey, make sure you check us out. Appreciate you. Stay there. All right. Peace.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports.